the higher perception of your third eye, and unconditional love of your high heart prepare your physical brain for the merging with your multidimensional mind. You will facilitate this merging by unifying your physical senses of sight, hearing, smell, and bodily sensations with your multidimensional senses of clairvoyance, clairaudience, and clairsentience. Once we have seen the truth and accepted its grandeur, a transformation within us takes place. It fills our hearts with joy and hope, while at the same time moving us towards harmonious action. The following artfully details the qualities and character traits of a rainbow warrior, known by many names such as truth seeker, healer, and adjectives such as honorable and trustworthy. All the attributes of a moral being who services others while also servicing themselves is embodied in each of us when we act out a moment of wisdom. I have received an internal call to move my main focus from shedding light on the reptilian agenda to resuming my energy work. I have mentioned in several of my radio shows on the Cosmic Awakening show about how I consider myself an antennae for the energies coming from the great central sun. These energies are coming to the planet from source, and the astrological alignment of our times allows for them to reach us in order to help raise the vibrational frequency. If you have been following articles on in 5D and how to exit the matrix, you know that the frequency shift we are experiencing is how we will all exit the false light matrix that has been imposed upon us. Free of the limitations of your physical perception, you prepare the perceptual areas on your brain to perceive us as within you rather than outside of you. Yes, feel us in your body as we are not separate from you. Your 3D mind has projected an image of us that appears to be outside of you. However, that vision is a projection of what is actually inside of you. In fact, all of your experiences of reality are the outer projection of what you are actually perceiving inside of you. You are still accustomed to 3D rules in which you were taught to believe that reality is outside of you, and you were a victim to whatever occurred in your life. We have the opportunity to build a rainbow bridge into the golden age. But to do this, we must do it together with all the colors of the rainbow, with all the peoples, all the beings of the world. We who are alive on Earth today are the rainbow warriors who face the challenge of building this bridge. Having individuated your ego, you are holistically conscious and compassionate. You are determined to use egocentric strategies in order to bring balance to an egocentric world. You understand that human beings once lived in healthy accord with each other and with nature for millions of years, until they mistakenly went from living in an egalitarian, cooperative way to living in an exploitative, competitive way. Your soul method is the rainbow bridge leading us out of the unhealthy and unsustainable quagmire and into a healthy and sustainable providence. Many of us are here to ground these energies into the planet. To do this, we can focus on opening up our crown chakra to allow the energy to come down through our body and down into the planet. Imagining these energies infiltrating the planetary grids along with the collective human consciousness has been a part of my work here. I have been told that just my work alone has made a considerable difference in our planetary timeline, where it has accelerated our shift forward by 15 years. Imagine what one person's efforts multiplied could do. I would think that it would quickly merge into the now moment. When we transmute a reality into a higher dimensional frequency, we send unconditional love and violet fire into the frequency of initial thought forms and energy fields. The unconditional love breaths in unity and potential, while the violet fire expands that reality to higher and higher dimensions. When we create a reality, we begin by creating thought forms and energy fields that define that possible reality. We then fill those thought forms and energy fields with violet fire to transmute the idea into a higher frequency reality and unconditional love to give birth to that reality. You can see in the chart below that your 3D physical perception of light is very small. Therefore, your third-dimensional brain is greatly limited in registering a conscious awareness of gamma-wave energy fields. While other people are playing finite games that indirectly and directly destroy the world. You are busy playing the infinite game of life for the sake of healing the world in order to continue play. While the world is busy falling apart, you are busy putting things back together again. You've made a sacred game out of it, connecting like minds, disconnecting unhealthy minds, and reconnecting cosmic mind. You realize that cooperation must be primary and competition secondary if the sacred play of life is to continue for human beings. But you also realize that the only absolute is change, and so you are. Busy learning the rules like a pro so you can break them like an artist. Those ascended souls choosing to remain in the spiritual realms will continue the unraveling process of their DNA and gradually dissolve the chemical bond keeping their mortal physical bodies alive. In doing this, their awareness will transfer to a pure energetic signature at each level according to individual ability. In essence, this is a horizontal way of dying or crossing over, one that happens in increments. One where out-of-body experiences become the norm. It involves the creation of the observer self or soul, which is the watcher that watches us in our dreams. As the DNA unravels, parts of our awareness are transferred over to this observer self. The longer we can remain in mortal physical bodies from this point on, the greater the unraveling of the DNA, and the more parts of our awareness can be transferred to our immortal observer self. At some point, the final transfer of consciousness will complete, and our awareness will have shifted in a horizontal fashion into our newly created non-physical body. The more parts of awareness that we are able to transfer, the more our new non-physical world will seem like physical 3D. Here, I'd like to look at the throat chakra's role in creativity, as well as the things we can do to heal and balance it. I don't know much about any of the chakras, and the only things I've learned about them have come from the few reports I've done. One of the best ways to learn about something is to research and write about it, which is exactly what I try to do with things like this that interest me. I hope it interests all of you too, and more importantly, I hope it teaches you something new. Inner TruthNet tells us about the throat chakra's association with self-expression, as well as its condition when it's balanced and imbalanced. The throat chakra is associated with your self-expression and communication. When it is in balance, you are able to listen and communicate well. When you are having trouble expressing yourself or having trouble with communication, the throat chakra becomes imbalanced. To explain in the simplest manner, your 3D self cannot perceive what is actually being projected into your consciousness, because you are attending to the projection of reality that is reflected off the screen of your third-dimensional perceptions. You have been trained for myriad incarnations that only the physical world is real. You believed what you were told because you were also told that you were a lowly human who did not have the ability to see the projector. You were told to worship the projector, and you only receive from the projector God that which was on the third-dimensional screen of reality. For those of you who have unexplained symptoms of physical or emotional pain, know that you are not alone. Feeling lost, disconnected, without passion or purpose, you are on a path of self-discovery. You are riding a wave of new energy. What you are feeling at this very moment is a transition, only one step of many on this grand journey of ascension on this planet that is progressing every second. Much of what you still see in the world and in your experiences is illusion, and it is competing heavily with what the heart knows to be true. It's time to start listening to what matters most and embracing that you are now in an accelerated state of expansion. The 6 shifts in consciousness are being realized. The spring equinox has brought a fascinating wave of expansion throughout the planet. It is pushing people outside of their comfort zone, and that is manifesting in some very interesting ways inside and outside the body. Outside the body, electronic devices are behaving erratically. Your mobile phone, television, computer, network devices, or even internet connection may not be functioning as they have in the past. You may experience unusual and unexplained downtime, yet there is nothing wrong with the actual devices because the problem is not the devices. The problem is your energy not properly grounding to where it needs to be. For some others, the problem is appearing in their motor vehicles. They are all signs of what is happening in and around you. All of these health problems can result from a blocked or imbalanced throat chakra, and while it isn't the only thing that can cause them, we might want to make sure if we ever suffer from them that we don't have something related to our creativity or self-expression going on in our lives. You never know what kinds of emotional or spiritual problems could cause physical illness. And as science and spirituality continue to merge, I think we'll discover a wealth of emotionally rooted cures for physical illness. For all we know, an imbalanced throat chakra could be the main cause of the problems listed above. I'm not saying it is, but I think our spiritual and emotional health have a lot to do with our physical. Chakra Healing Calm explains how self-expression suffers when the throat chakra is blocked. Do you struggle to communicate your real thoughts and feelings? If you lack the confidence to express your thoughts, ideas, and feelings because you fear that you may be judged or that your words may hurt someone, you are only holding yourself back from real happiness. You have a right to express needs, wants, and ideas if you keep your thoughts to yourself. How will anyone ever know what they are, and how will your needs and wants ever be met or your ideas ever brought to life? The cellular structure is currently being recoded in the human body, and in the process it is purging and letting go of predominant resident frequencies that are being eliminated. For this energy to clear, the immune system and actually all systems within the body must be effectively weakened. So while the body may appear to be in a state of illness, it is more or less in a state of clearing. Unfortunately, this is the only way you will be able to prepare and move into the energy that is coming in the next 12 months, an energy critical for the Earth in the next decade. If the body fails to make the upgrade, it will stop functioning entirely. The important thing is to recognize that you can change every single symptom that appears with the appropriate intention. Do not fall into negative patterning with assumptions that it is your own negative thoughts that have created these symptoms or that you must fix the problem. Focus on the fact that you are realigning your body to where it needs to be. You are not broken, so there is nothing to fix. Accept what is and move forward while welcoming the wonderful changes that are leading to the new you. The reason more people are feeling disconnected and without a sense of purpose is they are still holding on to old programming. It's not safe, I fear for my future or my family's, people don't understand me, the world is doomed. And any other self-defeating things you tell yourself which are based on fear, not reality. With practice and repetition, you are breaking out of this patterning at the subconscious level and consciously creating a different reality. Consciously directing energy is far more powerful than subconscious directives, and this is part of what humanity is now transitioning to. Any form of creative expression is a highly positive practice for opening the throat chakra. The enjoyment of the creative process is far more important than the results or end product, so don't worry if you're not an artist, try your hand at cooking. Gardening, inventing, writing, solving problems, take any opportunity you can to be creative. Become comfortable with your own voice in its many forms of expression. The world would quickly change if everyone believed in their personal truth enough to use their voice. And we all have a unique piece of the puzzle that we've come here to give. It'd be a shame to deny ourselves the opportunity to offer our piece, and instead, let's realize that it's an important part of the whole and humanity can't function without it. Instead of just listening to what other people tell us about life or spirituality, we can pave our own way and make peace with any inadequacies that result. We'll find the right way in time, and when we do, we can share what we learn with others in hopes that our experience helps them. It won't help everyone since we're all unique, but it'd be enough to help one person embrace the uniqueness of their path and get the most out of their evolution. As chakra healing tells us, silence is also an important factor in maintaining a healthy, balanced, open throat chakra.